the verbal warning is the first step. I mean, unless it's something really bad, or unless it's something that's really clear, or unless you really know you got to fire the employee. The verbal warnings work. People will generally respond to that and try to correct that. The problem is when they won't. And particularly since you're looking at a big growth spurt in the next couple of years as the company grows and expands. Even though you may not have the big problem right now, it will come down the road for you. It will be there. Simply because you're not going to be absolutely certain of every person you hire is going to work out. So that I would say 80% of the problems are cured or are taken care of by a verbal warning and the kind of the mild threat that if it continues I'll have to write you up. But what I would strongly suggest to you that the verbal warning is not enough. You will have instances, you will have employees where the verbal warning will not work. And you need the recourse to actually then go to the written reprimands, the written warnings. Okay, now this is building a company. This is building a bigger company. Even though you have good employees now. Things will happen down the road, and the company needs to be prepared to be able to handle those. Good growing companies have that covered. They're able to handle that. So the last thing you want is to grow and get really busy and then to have problem employees and have the problems get out of hand. Or out of control. So clearly the verbal warnings are the first step, and absolutely good managers do that. But you also want to have the tool that will back you up that if you do not get the improvement or the cooperation from the employee. Remember, some people go to work looking for a lawsuit, okay? And I don't want to taint you by saying human nature is that way, but some people are. So what you don't want to do is you have to always remember in the back of your mind, this is a possibility. So if I don't do it right, somebody's going to be looking at me. Now, I don't want to say women do it in sexual harassment, but that's probably the most obvious one where they will accuse someone of doing something and then they know the laws. And then sometimes when you go into those cases, I've been in the labor board and actually seen some printouts. This person's been in here 10 times with 10 different employers for similar cases, harassment or whatever. So there's, but I guess, yeah, you keep the verbal, but you also want to keep the written. You can't let it off. You have to have